Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Dave Shestokas, and one of my original challenges, generally speaking, is trying to have people say my name properly. Very good. There's Shestokas. What, as a
Then you have to say my name.
Okay, you got a deal. You got a deal. As a general clue, though, back when I was a child, 12 years old, I'm sure maybe many of you did this when you were kids or had grandkids.
I was 12 once for a whole year.
Yeah, for a whole year, absolutely. But you know, like many children, I was involved and did magic tricks, and they had a magic show. And so, as a key way to say Shestokas properly, we're going to go back to being 12 years old and the opening of the magic show, which is Hocus Pocus, the Great Shestokas. Okay? So, at any rate, I'm a candidate for Illinois Attorney General. One of the things I usually have to do also before explaining too much about myself is trying to explain people what the office of the Attorney General is. Many people do not understand that, and that's not unusual because when you hear the term Attorney General, you often think of the United States Attorney General. The situation regarding the United States Attorney General, however, is he is appointed by and serves at pleasure of the President of the United States. The Illinois Attorney General, however, is in fact elected by the people of the state of Illinois. The difference between, even though they carry the same title, the difference between the offices is just tremendous. Because the President can actually fire the Attorney General, even though he pretends that he's the head of the Justice, he doesn't pretend to be the head, he's the head of the Justice Department, but they pretend that it's impartial and not touched by politics, but as a practical matter, he can be fired by the President, so ultimately they execute the President's policies. The Illinois Attorney General is elected by you and should in fact be your lawyer, not the lawyer for the governor, not the lawyer for the government, not the lawyer for the Department of Public Health, not the Board of Education, not the Board of Elections, but rather for the people of the state of Illinois. And this is tremendously different from how that office is conducted currently. As an example of how the office is currently conducted, I'm the attorney for an organization called the Illinois Conservative Union. And all we asked the Board of Elections to do was to provide us with the voter data that they're entitled to under federal law to make sure that the Board of Elections is doing its job properly. And of course, when the four grandmothers went down to Springfield 3 years ago to ask them for the data, the Board of Elections said, no, you can't have it. So ultimately, we wound up having to file a lawsuit against the Board of Elections. And all we asked the Board of Elections to do was follow the law, right? Just to obey the law that's in place. It's a federal law called the National Voter Registration Act, Section 8, that entitles them to, in fact, have this data to see to it that they're doing their job. The lawyer for the Board of Elections right now, and we're still in court, it's been over 2 years, and we continue to be in court, is the Attorney General for the state of Illinois. And all we said was follow the law, and all the Attorney General said, when you get through all the legal mumbo jumbo, when you get through all of that, all he said was, we don't have to follow the law. We have the Attorney General of the state of Illinois telling citizens of the state of Illinois that their government doesn't have to follow the law.
Wow.
This is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. That's among the issues that prompted my running is involvement in that lawsuit. Although there are multiple other issues, there are many other places. I actually during the pandemic filed a suit on behalf of a church where where, if you remember correctly, churches were under attack, and churches were trying to close churches while they were leaving liquor stores and big box stores and all kinds of things open, but saying you can't go to church. Or churches were not essential. And in fact, the Illinois Attorney General went all the way to the Supreme Court regarding 4 or 5 other churches, the Elam Romanian Pentecostal Church, another Philadelphia Pentecostal Church, church out in Western Illinois altogether. They went all the way to the Illinois Supreme Court, and the Illinois Attorney General is doing what? Arguing that the churches in the state of Illinois are non-essential. Okay, this is crazy again. There are multiple lawsuits across the state that are like that, where all that's happening is the citizens are trying to vindicate their constitutional or statutory rights. My first day as Attorney General, we're going to crawl in all those lawsuits, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to if I can, I may have to recuse myself because I've been a lawyer in this case, but if I can, what I will do is I'll call the Board of Elections and say, Mr. Director of the Board of Elections, give the folks the data they're entitled to under the law. Boom. And the case is done. And now I've got 5 or 6 lawyers with nothing to do in that case. There are a bunch of other cases. My best estimate is we'll have 40 or 50 lawyers in the office with nothing to do because they're not litigating against the citizens of the state of Illinois. What are we going to do with them? Oh, we're going to make crime illegal again. We have people like Kim Fox comes to mind, or Eric Reinhardt in Lake County also comes to mind, that are turning criminals loose on the streets. They're making revolving doors. They're rewriting laws, pretending that laws don't exist, saying that we're not going to charge anybody with retail theft unless they steal $1,000 or more. We're not going to charge people with murder because it's mutual combat. These are crazy things. These are crazy things, and they endanger the life, health, and safety of all of us. Well, people don't know and don't understand that the Illinois Attorney General, per what they call the Illinois Attorney General Act, the first duty is to represent the people. Next in line is in any case in which the state may have an interest. And guess what? Every criminal case is in fact entitled the people of the state of Illinois versus the defendant. So guess what? The Attorney General's office has an interest in every criminal case that happens any place in the state. And so when Kim Fox turns somebody loose or Eric Reinhardt turns somebody loose, and we get a call from law enforcement and says, listen, Mr. Attorney General, we did everything we needed to do. We went out, we put our lives on the line in arresting this individual. We stood in harm's way, we gathered the evidence that was necessary to provide a conviction. What can you do for us? We will send our Criminal Prosecutions Bureau in and our Investigations Bureau, talk to these officers, and where appropriate, we will go to statewide grand jury and we will issue indictments and we will arrest and prosecute these dangerous people that the local prosecutors will not. And so this is part and part. So make crime illegal again is a slogan for the campaign, but while it's a slogan, there's a plan to make this happen. There's actually a plan to make this happen. And guess what? While all candidates mention crime somewhere along the line, there's only one office on the ballot in November that can do something about it the very first day that they're in office, and that would be the Attorney General. And so I've done myself as an assistant state's attorney more than 400 felony prosecutions and investigations, more than 10,000 misdemeanor cases. The next criminal case that either of the opponents I have in the primary, the next one that they do will in fact be their first. Okay? You don't want to have somebody get that job and have to do on-the-job training. Okay? One of my opponents says, well, there's other prosecutors in the office that have been doing this for a long time, so I don't have to worry about having that kind of experience. Wouldn't it be nice if the boss knew what the other attorneys in the office were doing? So, again, Dave Shestokas, you can say Shestokas, can't you? Shestokas. Excellent, very good. I'm running for Illinois Attorney General. I'm going to listen to these two gentlemen. If I leave relatively quickly, I'm doing Morris, Illinois fairly soon. I'm so happy to be here and visit with you guys. I was recently in Elk Grove because the studios for AM 560 are in Elk Grove. And so last Sunday I was on with Dave Lombardo on AM 560. And I expect to be back there in a couple of weeks. So I love coming to Elk Grove because they put me on the radio and let me talk to thousands, but I'm happy to talk to tens. You know, we're happy to talk to, and sometimes it's really great to be able to personally shake hands and see all kinds of people. So thank you, Ed, for having me, for inviting me the other night. We ran into each other in Addison, and you did a great job with the Pledge of Allegiance last night. You know, great evening last night. We were with Lieutenant General Flynn. Had a great visit with General Flynn and Bobby and Gary, and it was a great evening last night. We're going to have a great day today, and hopefully, with your help, we're going to have some big victories in June, and then even bigger ones in November. Again, Dave Shestokas, thank you.